They ravaged nations throughout the ancient Near East, including Babylonia and Persia. A battle with the Assyrians was a war against fear itself. They were known for cutting off the heads of rebel leaders and the hands of rebels. The leaders' heads were left on the rebels' town gates as a stark reminder: cross the Assyrians and die. Their siege techniques were innovative and therefore terrifying. In the siege of Lachish, for example, they built an earth ramp scaling the entirety of the city walls. They then rolled siege towers up the ramps and devastated the city from the inside out. They are also recorded climbing over walls, breaking them down with siege engines, and digging under the walls all at the same time. Combined with their highly trained cavalry and infantry, the Neo-Assyrian Empire made a formidable opponent. The Neo-Assyrians are known as instigators of the Jewish diaspora. The Emperor Sargon II captured the Kingdom of Israel in ca 722 BCE, subsequent to taking the Israelite capital Samaria. They dispossessed 30,000 Israelites from their homes and relocated them throughout his empire. This was part of the empire's policy of mass deportation for rebel subjects. The goal here was to end nationalistic zeal and break people's old state-based identities in favor of a single, new identity, Assyrian. Achaemenid Persia. Achaemenid Persia was one of the last great empires of Mesopotamia. It endured from 559 to 330 BCE. It was only brought to an end by Alexander the Great. At its height, it encompassed the majority of the ancient Near East and even beyond into Central Asia and Anatolia. Its founder's name, Cyrus the Great, still echoes through the annals of history. Cyrus is notable for his treatment of the Israelites, who had been exiled from the Kingdom of Israel by the Assyrians in ca 722 BCE and from the Kingdom of Judea by the Neo-Babylonians in ca 586 BCE. Their lament over their exile is captured in Psalm 137 verses 1 to 4. By the rivers of Babylon, we sat and wept, when we remembered Zion. How can we sing the songs of the Lord, while in a foreign land? Cyrus allowed the Jewish population to return to Israel, issued an edict for the Great Temple in Jerusalem to be rebuilt, and returned items looted from Israel and the temple by Babylonians. This was just one example of Cyrus's tolerance and respect of religious and ethnic diversity within his empire. Each satrapy, province, was given leave to set their own laws and religious values, contrasting to the deportation policies of the Neo-Assyrians. It has been suggested that Cyrus's tolerance was partly born from necessity. To force a single identity upon many unique nations and cultural groups would have destabilized his territory. Instead, he positioned himself as protector of all sanctuaries. This spirit of cultural coexistence within an empire is epitomized by the Apadana staircase reliefs from the Persian Emperor Darius's palace at Persepolis. This staircase, called the Staircase of All Nations, depicts envoys from nations around the empire bringing tribute. The differences in the cultures and ethnicities of the envoys are emphasized through their different hairdos, garments, and appearances. Demonstrating their differences drew attention to the vastness of the empire. In doing so, it demonstrated that the rulers of the Achaemenid Empire valued difference. Ancient Mesopotamia and the Macedonian Empire. In 330 BCE, the last Achaemenid emperor, Darius III, was assassinated by Persian dissenters. With him, the Achaemenid Empire disintegrated and was officially under the thumb of Macedonia's greatest conqueror, Alexander the Great. As Alexander romped through the Persian territory building the Macedonian Empire, he brought death and destruction with him. His military actions led to the destruction of many Zoroastrian temples and other important cultural spaces. When the inhabitants of the Zarafshan Valley in Sogdiana sheltered a rebel leader, he killed most of its population, about 120,000 people. While in the Persian homeland, he burnt down the capital city of Persepolis, but the fact remains that the wonders of Persepolis are lost forever. Alexander's extensive campaigning drastically altered the political makeup of Mesopotamia. The Achaemenid satrapy system was retained, but now with satraps, rulers, aligned to Alexander. This included Macedonians, who were unfamiliar with the customs and culture of previously Achaemenid regions. After Alexander's death, his grand empire fell apart, and the Mesopotamian satrapies fell under the jurisdiction of the Seleucid Empire. Hellenistic empire building meant soldiers and Greek immigrants were deposited throughout ancient Mesopotamia. These new connections with Greece enabled a greater flow of information, goods, and cultural exchange, which meant ancient Mesopotamia was inextricably enmeshed in the Hellenistic world.